Literally just that. What a week it's been, but it's finally here, Friday night. And you know what that means? We're back. Lucky to be here, but we're back. It's the Decibel Geek Podcast, bringing you Friday Night Live, where we like to talk about rock and roll. You know me, I'm Aaron Camaro, joined as always by my awesome friend, kick-ass co-host, Mr. Chris Sinzak.
How's it going?
Good, man. I mean, yeah, now... Woo. For a second there, I didn't think I was going to make it.
I was starting to wonder. We're getting like down to like 30 seconds. I was like, where the hell is Aaron? I'm not doing this by myself.
It's a tight one for sure, but here we are. We made it.
Yeah, so another week in the books, and just got the new episode out yesterday, and Radio Sucks, March 2022, and a lot of good songs on that, getting good feedback from it already. Some cool music. Check that out for sure.
Yeah, you know, if you want to find some cool new bands, we're your guys. We're always keeping our eyes open, our ears open too. We're listening for that new rock music out there, and it's out there. Believe me, it is. You just got to look for it. But if you don't have time to look for it, rely on us, because we're going to turn you on to it. And this last week with Radio Sucks Radio Show, the latest edition, we did it again. We picked out awesome bands and shared them with the people. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, check that out if you haven't checked it out yet. You'll get turned on to some cool new stuff, and some veteran acts that put out new material that radio's not going to touch because radio sucks. And yeah, so without further ado, we're gonna get into our special guest. We got a whole KISS themed episode tonight, and that's due in part to who we have coming on today. We have Tom from Klassik 78, but we'll be back just after this commercial message.
Peter Frampton, the Bee Gees, KISS, Linda Ronstadt. You'll find them all in one exciting weekly magazine, Circus. Every week, Circus magazine reveals the truth about the incredible rock and roll scene.
I'm Jerry Rothberg, editor of Circus magazine, and I want you to read the toughest, timeliest, gutsiest magazine around.
Circus magazine in color, now at your newsstand every week. Pick up your copy today.
The long-awaited album. Klassik 78. Phantoms. Got me in a fever dream. Smoke and mirrors. 8 brand new songs. Smoke and mirrors. Of pure rock and roll. Show me your love. Let me know that you need me. Show me Klassik 78. And I'll give you my love. Anytime, anywhere.
Sayer hosts Chuck Mangione, Bonnie Tyler, Gary Buzzy, and more 1/2 hour from now.
Wow. I can't wait for half an hour from now. Chuck Mangione is going to be on TV. That's awesome. Oh, man.
Hey,
so
guys.
Let's give a welcome, Decibel Geek Friday Night Live. Welcome to Tom Higgins from Klassik 78. He's unmasked. Gasp.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Good to have you.
It's like MTV breaking news from the 80s.
Right. Hi, JJ. Right.
First time ever.
Too funny. Well, yeah, so it's we've been excited about this record for a while. We met you in Atlanta at the Atlanta KISS Expo, which was a wild weekend in 2018, and you had the sampler disc you gave us at the time. And it's really kind of like gotten its own legend here with basically the album, the music that KISS should have been making from the post reunion years on, or even you could say after Love Gun. So I don't know, where do you want to start with this, Aaron? You want to get the history of the band? What do we want to do first?
I mean, one thing, when I listen to it, everybody knows that I love Klassik 78. I love what you guys are doing. I think it's an amazing concept. And beyond the concept, you guys execute it to perfection. But when I listen to it, I always wonder, what was the original conversation like that led to all this? I mean, where's the spark begin? Where somebody goes, you know what? That's a great idea.
Well, around the time of Sonic Boom, you started hearing about how KISS was making a new record, and it was going to have like 70s vibes to it, like an old school KISS record and stuff like that. And then they started to release little video clips of them in the studio and stuff like that. And I grew up on this stuff, and I played a lot of these songs in bands and stuff like that. And it never occurred to me to write a song that sounded like Kiss. I've written songs for myself and other projects and stuff like that, hard rock stuff. But it never occurred to me to see if I could write a Kiss song. So just as a creative exercise, I tried, and I came up with a couple things that I liked, and then I developed one of them. And the first one was "Let Me Rock and Roll You," from the first record. And I demoed it up, and then I just put a reference vocal, a Gene vocal on there, just for reference, and it sounded pretty good. And I kind of shocked myself because I never did that either, And then I just tweaked it a little bit and made some adjustments, and I was like, oh, this is kind of funny. And then I cobbled together a couple other things, and then I would play them to my friends, and they would think that they were like Kiss, unreleased Kiss songs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I just put it aside. And then sometime around 2016, maybe 2015, I was like, you know what? It would kind of be fun to put this together and record a couple songs and release them and just see what happens, see how people respond to them. Because now you can put music up anywhere, on YouTube or Facebook or whatever. So my buddy Rory, who I grew up with, I met him in '84, so we were 14. I'm a kid from the '70s, so I was born in 1970. So I grew up on all this stuff. I met Rory in '84, major Kiss fan, and that's how we met. And he's an excellent drummer. So I said, if we cut these songs and then find a Paul vocalist, and because I knew I could kind of already do an Ace vocal, and I would just work on it to perfect it. Maybe we could just cut these and release them. So we did. And we started to cut them, but I needed a Paul. And then I found Joe McGinnis, who sings all the Paul stuff, and he plays some of the guitar on this record too. He had cut a bunch of Paul Stanley covers, Kiss covers of Paul songs on YouTube years ago, and I found him on YouTube, and he sounded just like him, and like enough like him to make me go wow, And I reached out to him, told him what we were doing. I sent him one of the Gene type demos so he'd have an idea. And he jumped on right away, yeah, let's do this. So then I kept writing songs, and we cut them, and it ended up being that first side one EP in 2017.
Wow.
Yeah. And we didn't want to, we figured we would just put the songs out without any, anonymously, under the Klassik 78 banner, just so people could hear it and conjure up their own ideas of what the music is informing their brain. I want you to think I want you to think it's Ace on guitar. I want you to think it's Gene on vocals. You don't need to know it's this Tom guy from Boston or this Joe guy from New York or this, you know what I mean? So that was the whole purpose of it, is to conjure up that vibe and that spirit, And we released it. I just put it on I created a Facebook page. I sent it out to some news sites and a couple Kiss related sites, and just posted it, and then it just took off from there.
Yeah. Have you been surprised by how big of a reaction that it's gotten over the last few years?
Yeah, I was surprised at the first album because we had no idea what to expect, and it just got passed around so much. People telling each other about it, and and they're reacting to it the way we would hope that some people would react to it. And the majority of people who were into this type of music, liked it. So we were like, wow, and then it was like, are you going to do another one? Are you going to do another one? And it's like, well, if we do another one, it better be as good, if not better. It's got to be at least as strong as the first one. And, the first one is the first impression. It's always hard to top that or to rival that, So we ended up doing the second one, and we did that. We didn't announce it or anything. When it was done, just like it was on a couple of days before Halloween in 2017, and it just post, and then the fur flies, and everybody, oh my God, there's another one, blah 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 blah, And it was great because we got to watch all that, without having to do anything, because all you guys were the ones chatting about it and yapping about it and telling everybody about it, and the same thing happened, and everybody's got their favorites from the albums, and the favorites change every other day. You have a different favorite, and we like to keep that element of surprise, because obviously nobody knew the first one was coming, because they didn't even know such a thing existed. So when we made a conscious decision not to announce the second one, to keep that same excitement vibe going,
That's
because
cool.
there's only so much you can do mystique wise these days,
Right.
I was gonna say you should have like a bandana over your face or something, just to keep the
Yeah.
whole appearance of the thing up. Although I think Charlie Benante kind of blew your cover with him being involved on the new record. So,
Well, a couple things happened with that. It's been 4 years, and since then, Joe McGinnis has he's joined Quarantine with
Mhm.
Chris Jericho. He actually, Joe actually founded that band. Him and his buddy Kent, the drummer, they formed it and recorded it, and then they connected with Jericho, and then Jericho is going to go 1,000% into whatever he does. So then it goes into a hyperdrive, So a funny story about that is when they got together to do that, Jericho was putting together a press kit, and he told Joe McGinnis, he said, "Okay, so give me like a little resume of all your projects, because I'm going to do that for all the guys when we do our press release." So Joe gave it to him, but he left off Klassik '78, and Chris Jericho goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, "You got to say it's Klassik '78 because that's the whole calling card. This is a '80s Kiss cover band. You got to be Joe from Klassik '78." He's like, "I don't know if I'm supposed to do that. We're not letting anybody know what we're doing, So it had already been 3 years at that point. So Joe called me, and I'm like, "Go ahead, Joe. Just have a good time, And it was fine, And then we ended up hooking up with Charlie later to fill the drum spot, and obviously that's a whole other ball of wax because people know who he is, So so there's two cats out of the bag right off the gate. So I figured if we did the next one, we'll just talk about it and see, if we wanted to. How are you going to pull that off at this point when already two of the guys are already out there,
Yeah.
Well, I think it's just so perfect that Charlie Benante is involved, because anyone who follows Anthrax knows that they've covered, I don't know how many Kiss songs by this point, like at least 5, 6.
Yeah.
And their love of Kiss is very obvious. Like they followed the band from when they were children. So it's just perfect that Charlie would wind up being the drummer of Klassik '78 because of that. And it's just, but I love also the fact that it's an independent thing. It's not like there's not a record company pushing this, or just fans of classic Kiss getting together and putting this out. I love that whole angle. And of course we are, I want to make sure we plug the album a lot here. So if you haven't picked it up, this is the album. It's called Phantoms, and some amazing artwork by Claudio Bergaman here, who it's got the reference to the Kiss Meets the Phantom with the roller coaster and everything, and it's got all the guys' instruments and stuff. How did you hook up with Claudio to put that out?
Well, when I knew that we were going to move forward and do another record, I knew it was going to be more of an album as opposed to an EP. And then I was like, if we do this, and who knows if we'll ever do another one, I just wanted it to have some proper artwork, just because the other two didn't really. It was more about the songs and the sound being the calling card and the quote unquote logo. It's what you're hearing that's going to give you the desired effect. So on this one, I was really happy with the songs, number one. And I just felt that this being a proper album, it deserved a proper cover. So I reached out to Claudio because I saw him on Facebook. I knew he was a Kiss fan. And then I found out that he had just done the Judas Priest record, Firepower, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I should call it.
Claudio did that?
Yeah.
Wow.
No kid. I had no idea. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome cover too.
Yeah, he did a good job. And then I was like, well, it's not going to hurt to call him. So I called him and we spoke, and he was like, he got it right away. I had a couple loose concepts, and long story short, he ran with it. He knows what he's doing. He's a major Kiss fan, and he put the extra little bit of love into it to get what you got there, on that album cover. And we're really happy with it. And, one of the things too is basically when I kind of took 2019 off and did some other things, and then I would keep in touch with Joe McGinnis. And he's like, do you think you want to do another one? I'm like, well, I keep writing stuff, man. I just don't know if I want to do another one yet, or if it's the right time, and blah, 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 blah. So finally, when it was time to do one, I said, we'll just use guest drummers, because I knew we were going to need a drummer if we did a third one. And then I was thinking, a lot of these guys have reached out to us, Joey Casada and Mike Portnoy, and obviously Charlie, as fans of what they heard. Like, this is cool. And they've all said nice things and supporting it like you guys have, So anyways, Charlie reached us right from the first record, just as a fan, to say, I love what you guys are doing. And at my meet and greets, I'm playing your record at all our Anthrax meet and greets. You know, I'm asking people, have you heard this yet? Blah, blah, blah. So he was a nice guy. And long story short, once Joe and I knew that we would probably move forward and do another record, Anthrax came up to Joe's neighborhood up in upstate New York to do a show. And him and Joe met at that show. And he said, so what are you guys doing? And Joe told him, well, if we do another one, you know, we're probably going to need some guest drummers. And we were thinking using this one and that one and you, of course. And, you know, he's like, no, I want to do all the songs. I want no guests. I want to do them all, you know. And then when Joe got back, he talked to me about it. And I said, well, I'll give him a couple songs and see if he even likes the material. So I sent him 2 songs and I said, hey, listen, here's 2. If whichever one you like best, if you'd like to play on it, you know, that would be great. And he says, I love them both. And I want to play on the whole record. I don't even need to hear the rest of it. I want to be the guy, you know? So he gets to dig into that Peter Criss vibe, you know, that he's obviously everybody knows he's a huge KISS fan, you know? And that's how that happened. And I wanted to explain that in conjunction with it being a proper album with artwork and stuff like that. You know, the album and the songs were coming out so good that I just felt that the album deserved a cover like that. And then after seeing the cover, I'm like, this cover deserves the songs like this. You know what I mean? It was just a good match. And Claudio loves the album, and we love the artwork. And then it was, okay, let's get this thing done. And then just like the other 2, you know, we didn't tell anybody. And then on January 6th at like 20 minutes of midnight on the East Coast, I went post. And then the same shit happened again. You know, you guys all went crazy. And this is insane for us. You know, it really is. It's on another level because I think the wait helped us, you know, not rushing it and capitalizing on the thing too often, having a 4-year wait. And the album, we're really proud of it. And I think people were looking for something like this. And the good part is that we weren't sure what we were going to do. We did our first interview like 4 or 5 days after the album came out. And we talked about it. So we decided we would just hide our faces for the first part of the interview. And because again, you can't hide Charlie and you can't hide Joe. His resume, he's Joe from Klassik 78. Isn't, you know, so the good part is that before we did that, everybody already reacted to the music. You're still getting the same vibe. So knowing who we are doesn't take away at all. It's really doing what it's supposed to do, you know, or what we hope it does, make people happy, or people think it's cool, or they get a kick, you know, just blast it in their car, or, you know, or at work or whatever, you know.
And that's, you're 100% right, because when I listen to Klassik 78, what's in my mind is KISS. You know, I picture KISS doing these songs when I'm listening to it. And, you know, the music is so good. And it really is, like, to me, I say, you know, KISS is my favorite band. But really what I'm saying is KISS from a certain era is my favorite band, you know, the classic stuff. And I can listen to that old KISS music all the time. And, you know, whenever there's like a tease, like, oh, there might be a demo song out there that nobody's heard before, you go, oh, man, you know, what it'd be like to hear just one more KISS song from back in those times, you know, but there's only so much out there.
Yeah. And this is an extension of that. You know, we're not KISS, you know, and we don't claim to be KISS, but the whole purpose is to make that sound that they don't make anymore, for no fault of their own. It's just a sound that nobody makes anymore, and that's what we're doing, because it's a tribute of sorts, because we're intentionally trying to do the best job we can to make that sound in very good songs that we're happy with. You're not going to please everybody, but if we're happy with it, that's I can't make a song that Aaron or Chris wants me to make. We have to make the songs that we feel comfortable, and hope that Aaron or Chris like some of them, you know, hopefully, you know, and everybody else out there, you know. So, you know, it's a fun way to be creative and make a sound that nobody makes anymore, and make people feel good, you know, and just add a nice hard rock and roll record in 2022. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Well, one thing that gets me is the production. Like, how do you, is there specific things you do to get that old school KISS guitar tone and drum sound?
Yeah, well, with the guitars, I have this old beat up crate amp. It's like a 12-inch speaker, and just I noticed that it kind of had this rock and roll overy type of Dress to Kill type of guitar tone. So I use that as the basis for it, and then I just tweak it and put the mic in the right spot and stuff like that. But and I've kept that for all the records. This one has a little bit of a different EQ on it, but it's the same tone with a different EQ on it. But all 3 records have essentially the same guitar tone, and all the songs have essentially the same guitar tone. And then with the bass, it's a direct signal, and then just add a little bit of EQ and rumble on it in the mix. For drums, we've always kept it simple. The first record I think might have had 2 or 3 mics on the kit. The second record, we mic'd the whole kit, and that helps bring out the production value a little bit more. And then on this record, Charlie's got an engineer that he uses at his home studio out in the Chicago area, and they cut all the tracks, at his house, and then he went to town. He was using like concert toms, like the toms without the heads on the bottom, like Peter. He set his kit up like Peter's kit and Peter's configuration, so he could apply his mindset. He was pulling snares from 1972 and 1973, because he's got the resources for that. He's, obviously I'm sure he's got a hell of a collection of snares,
Yeah.
So he was going deep. He didn't need to do that, but as far as he was concerned, he did. What's the point of doing this if I'm not going to go whole hog, right? And it just sounds great. The thing is to not get in the way of what it is. Let the snare sound like a snare. Let the kick drum sound like a kick drum. Let the tom resonate, and if there's overtones that ring out that roll into the next tom, that's okay, because it just makes it helps make it real. You don't want to sanitize everything, And then Joe cut all his vocals and produced his own vocals. Joe cut all the acoustic guitars for Show Me Your Love. He produced that whole intro himself. We all mixed the record, Everybody had their 2 cents. So maybe can we put some phaser on this drum break, or what if we put some echo on the end of the word on the verses or on the bridges or whatever it is, or can you raise the bass level or whatever, That's always been the case on all the records, So just getting a warm, even mix and master on this was really important to me, because I wanted it to be where if you wanted to listen for the snare, you could hear it. If you wanted to listen for the bass, you could hear it. If you wanted to listen to the left guitar or whatever it was, it's all going on, and it's a mix, and it's rocking and rolling. But if you wanted to focus on one thing, I wanted you to be able to do that. So it was important to find the sweet spot. Something's always going to suffer volume wise or frequency wise, but that's all technical stuff. Does it sound good? Does it feel good? That's what we go off of. It's all digital too, Chris. It's not like we didn't pull analog stuff, and
it sounds analog.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I talked about this before with people. It's like what you record needs to sound good from the get go.
Right.
You can't rely on digital to fix it, or to take a crappy signal or crappy crappy sonics and then try to polish a turd. Try to get the sound you want on the front end, and then whether it's digital or analog. Obviously analog has qualities that digital doesn't, but if you start off with something that's an honest sound that you don't need to totally manipulate, that's your best bet when you're doing this type of stuff. 70s hard rock with warmth and swagger, and you're not always going to get it, but that's what we shoot for, and I think we got it on this one.
For sure. About it. Yeah, everything about it I love. Every song, the album cover, everything about it. I'm an old KISS fan, and so as an old KISS fan, and I tell everybody this, every old KISS fan I run into, it's like, if you are a fan of that original stuff, then you're going to love everything about Klassik 78, because it's not a ripoff and it's not a cover. It's a real tribute to one of the greatest bands of all time, in a way that embodies the spirit, not just of the band, not just the music, but of those times. It makes you feel like you're in a time warp when you listen to these albums.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that you can't manufacture. There's nothing we can do to get someone to react like that. and most people are reacting like that. And for those who don't, that's okay. It just means it's not for you, you know.
Yeah.
So that it's not, because it's not for everybody, you know. But if you just want to, if you want something that sounds like old Kiss and some catchy songs with hooks and cool parts and cool leads and cool vocals, we got that. If you just want a 70s style rock and roll record, you know, with some you know, balls to it, we got that too. So if you like that type of music, you're probably going to like some of these songs. If you like 70s Kiss, you're probably going to really like some of these songs, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a niche, you know, it's a niche. And, you know, I will say this, you know, we didn't know what it was going to be like, but, you know, the thing charted at #1 on iTunes, you know, rock, you know, the rock charts, you know, right out of the gate, you know, like within a day or two, you know?
Yeah.
And it stayed
Wow.
there for a while, and then it went to 2 for a couple of days, and then it went for 3, and then it went to 3, you know. And then on the overall iTunes charts with The Weeknd and Taylor Swift and anybody you could possibly think of, we were #9.
Wow.
You know? Yeah. And that's, you guys did that. We had nothing to do with that. All we did was release it, make sure you guys could get it on iTunes and Amazon, and we had our Facebook page. That's it, you know. And then it charted number 14 in Brazil, number 30 in Australia, and number 9 in Brazil, number 14 in Canada, and number 30 in Australia, you know.
Nice.
So
That's amazing.
You know, we have no control over that. We don't even get those numbers until after the fact, you know.
Right.
And it's just cool. People like it. People are responding to it, you know, and they're getting what they need to get out of it, and which is just crank it up and enjoy the songs you like, you know.
Have you guys ever heard back from anybody in the KISS camp about what any of them think of it?
Not since the first 2 records. The first go around, Paul, we got a message from an acquaintance of Paul's who told us, "Hey guys, I just wanted to let you know that Paul's got your record, and he's sharing it with all his friends. He's letting people know about it. He digs it. He's getting a kick out of it."
Nice.
So we're like, "Oh, that's cool that he's doing that," you know. And then we found out that Chris Jericho was at Paul's house doing an interview with Paul, and they were just hanging around and shooting the shit. They were playing the KISS pinball machine. I guess that's one of the only things that Paul has in his house, the KISS pinball machine, you know, KISS related, you know. And then after they were done playing, Paul said, "Hey man, have you heard this?" And he started playing Jericho, the Klassik '78 record, you know. And it's just like, holy shit! It's like, I wrote this at my house, you know. And now we cut it, we released it, and now Paul's listening to it in his music room or his car or whatever, you know. It's just crazy. It's just crazy to think that, you know. And he didn't hear about it from us. He heard about it from probably the fan base. Somebody in the fan base got word to them, you know. And then you know, and that was cool. And then the other one was Gene, and when he was doing his solo dates in I think 2017. You know, like Ryan and Philip and Jeremy, those guys, they didn't know us either. I think you guys turned them on to us.
Yeah.
I think you guys
we did. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So all of a sudden, one day, there's an email from Jeremy going, "Hey, man, it's, you know, you don't know us, but it's Jeremy, and I'm with, you know, we're in Gene's band, and we were just on a bus ride for a couple hours, and we just played Gene your stuff, and you totally blew his mind, you know." So, you know, they played him a couple songs, and he was just like, "Wow," you know. And we just wanted to let you know that he really likes it. So, you know, what more can you ask for, you know?
That's cool as hell.
Yeah. But we haven't heard anything since then, and not that we need to or we're supposed to. But you know, Charlie's joked about it. He's like, "No, I need to know. I want to know what they think about this new one," you know. So, and he's friends with those guys, so you know, I'm sure he'll hear from them at some point. But
Yeah.
you know, we leave them alone. You know, I say this on some of the, when I talk to guys like you. You know, I know how to get in touch with Paul. I know how to get in touch with Gene. You know, and Doc. I leave those guys alone. You know, because this isn't, "Hey, look at me" type of thing. This is like, you know, we love this music. We love this sound. We have a connection to it from our childhood or how we got to rock and roll, whether it was the gateway or whether it was the end all be all, whatever. And we're just doing a fun thing. And, you know, if anything, if they hear something, even if it, you know, it's almost like you want to make them proud in a way, You know, you guys did this. You guys did this. You know, and people say, "Oh, has anybody else done this?" And you could say, "Well, Rhino Bucket did it with AC/DC, or Kiss did it with AC/DC, or this one or that one." But you know, AC/DC invented that. Kiss invented this. You know, we're just taking those influences and that style, and you know, trying to be creative with it with some cool shit. You know,
Yeah.
and that's all we're doing. You know.
Well, that one, and you bring up a good point, because there's, I mean, Aaron, how many times have we played what you would call AC/DC clones of newer bands?
All the time, but that's
all the time.
9 times out of 10, it's still pretty damn good.
No,
Yeah.
and it's and that's
because that's where it comes from, and we like that.
But I mean, and that's great, but like, you don't really hear a lot of bands aping the 70s Kiss sound. That's why this kind of stands out from the crowd, you know.
Right. And not to by the way, Joe McGinnis says hello. He loves the show. He checks it out all the time.
Very cool.
And we were almost going to see if we could sneak him in on here, but he wasn't able to do it. But he made a point for me to tell you guys that. But you know, when you got a guy who can sound like Paul like that, you know, he's not identical. He's not identical, but he's got the vibe and the tone and the swagger. And it's like, it just, this Paul is a one of a kind. There's nobody out there that sounds like him. You know, if you think about all the Steven Tyler clones, or the Robert Plant clones, or the Paul Rogers clones, or the Bruce Dickinson clones. When I say that, I mean guys who are clearly influenced by those guys and then had careers. There's nobody who sounds like Paul Stanley who had a career. You know,
really, no.
Not really.
It's a testament to the originality of his tone and his voice, and you know, right out of the gate he had that, and you couldn't go, oh wow, he sounds like the guy from Humble Pie. No, he doesn't. He's totally influenced by the guy, but he sounds like him. And so when you get somebody like Joe McGinnis who can pull that shit off, it just, man, when I send the tracks out and then I get them back from him, it's just goosebump city, man. It's just because it's like, I'm like, wow, because it's what it's supposed to be, you know?
Right.
And it's the same with the drums, and it's the same when I send the stuff to the guys with the Gene and Ace vocals, or they're hearing my leads for the first time as we're finalizing stuff. And that's what the whole process is like. It's just constantly going, wow, you kind of take yourself out of it. You know, when we listen to this stuff, we don't think about ourselves cutting this track that day. We're thinking, wow, this sounds like a freaking Kiss song, you know? It's pretty cool. I'll tell you a quick one. I've had some sugar, so I'm a little bit yappy. A couple weeks ago, I was down in the old neighborhood that I grew up in where I discovered Kiss. And it was a beautiful weekend day. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna drive to the old neighborhood. I just cranked the Phantoms album, dude. It was awesome. Beautiful day. It was like a spring day up here in Boston. I cranked this tune. I'm like, this is people. Someone in Belgium was listening to this right now because he just emailed us this morning saying that he loves this thing, you know, or somebody in Japan is, you know, and I'm in the neighborhood where I discovered this band, and someone's, you know, it was just friggin', it was a perfect car record, man. You know, it was cool. So even though I was involved in it, I'm just listening. That's it. I'm just a listener, you know. It's unique, very unique situation.
That's cool.
Very awesome. You know, another thing, like you said about Paul Stanley and how nobody ever really aped him, you know, going forward after that, really, as far as unique vocals, you can say that about all 4 of those guys. Nobody sounds like Ace Frehley. Nobody sounds like Peter Criss. Nobody sounds like Gene Simmons either.
Yeah.
Well, that's the craziest thing. Before we went on air, I found out that Tom is on the Klassik 78 is kind of the Ace and the Gene, and it's like, I don't know how the hell you do that. That's really hard to pull off.
Yeah, I didn't know I could do the Gene until I tried doing that demo, just to put a reference vocal on it. I wasn't expecting a vocal. I was just thinking musically, can I write a Kiss song? And it was, I kind of was like, oh wow, there's something there, you know. The Ace thing I had kind of been doing for years, because Ace is my guy. 70s Ace he's the reason why I play guitar. Kiss is the reason why I play rock and roll. Ace is the reason why I play guitar. You know, so I kind of had a bit of a handle on the Ace thing, you know. So when I discovered the Gene thing, it was like, oh man, if I got a Paul to do this, this would just be insane. We got a lot of great people out there who ask about getting a Peter voice, man. I can't find anybody there's a lot of people who can sing really well, who have like a grit to their voice.
Yeah.
And they can sing Peter songs, you know. Right. We're looking for someone who sounds like Peter. Not just can sing, you know, and it's really tough. And it's not tough because someone should be doing it and they're just not stepping up. It's just like Paul, the guy's got a certain quality to his voice that You just can't find that off the street, you know.
Right.
And unless we find somebody who can really knock it out of the park and give you chills, you know, we don't want to do a half-assed job on a crappy
Right.
Peter vocal, you know,
Yeah, I can
ourselves, you know.
So we got a couple of people asking questions here. I want to make sure I get these in for you.
Yeah, a lot of great comments. A lot of people love this stuff.
Will Klassik 78 in the future do a Klassik 78 a live album?
Yeah, we will. We will.
Oh, nice.
After the first record, Joe McGinnis, he had said, "Oh, wouldn't it be fun if we do like a live record and put in the bombs and the explosions and the, you know, really do it up, you know?" So we will do that, and it'll be some songs from some songs from all three albums, and if we do another studio album before we do that, it'll be songs from that too. But you know, it'll probably be a selection of songs live, and then maybe 2 or 3 songs that weren't on these albums that nobody's heard that we'll do in a live setting as part of the live set, and we may do 5 studio tracks on a side 4 thing, you know. And if we do that, that'll probably be the end. Like you know, we did what we need to do, and that'll be a nice way to.
Oh,
you know.
wait. No, so we're not going to get a disco album and a medieval concept album or anything like
no
that?
Elder, no disco, no Klassik 79. Everybody's asked about doing. Can you guys recut the Unmasked record? No, we're not recutting the Unmasked record. You know.
It's the return of Super Klassik 78.
Yeah. No, it's cool, but that's like a fun thing that we can do, and it'll be really interesting to put that together, and we'll make it sound as legit as possible, you know. But we might do a studio record before that, you know, another one. We're just kind of we're in this album mold right now, but I got about 15 songs.
Well, and this is me just kind of fantasizing in real life, but like one thing I've always wanted, like there's a lot of KISS demos that are kind of unfinished from back in the day. I can't think of a better group of guys to like finish those off and make them sound like what would have come out on the records. Now, is it a rights issue or whatever? You guys consider doing that?
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't think we would do that. I mean, listen, I would love to cut and release audio video.
Yeah,
you know, from the Comet, you know, the first Comet. I think that's one of the best tunes that Ace has ever done. And they I don't think they know who wrote it, and I think that's one of the reasons why I don't think they know who the co-writers are, you know, so that's why it didn't get included on the first record. But like, you know, I would love to just do that and release it and just do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a bunch of cool demos like Smoke and whatever, you know. But no, I don't think we would do that, you know, not for any bad reason. I just don't think we would do it, you know?
Right. And then somebody said, Rummy asked, can you talk about how you all wrote and recorded Show Me Your Love? The intro's killer. I like how the guitars are panned, so much character, refreshing compared to the modern wall of sound.
Yeah, Show Me Your Love is written by myself and Joe McGinnis, and I had the electric part of the song, you know, written and arranged for Charlie and Joe. And then, you know, on the second record, Joe had, you know, we should, if there's a song we could do an acoustic intro on, you know, that's something that we should do in the future as well. And on that second record, it was already kind of done, and it felt kind of forced to try to create one at that point. So we just let it alone. But on this one, I thought we could put an intro on Show Me Your Love. So I gave Joe just a basic sketch of it in terms of an acoustic intro idea. I didn't pick any chords. I didn't, you know, pluck any figures. I just hit a root chord and sang the chorus melody, which already existed. And then, you know, he took it and ran with it, because he could have done a Black Diamond thing with it. He could have done a Rock Bottom thing, or an I Want You thing, or Tonight You Belong to Me thing, you know? And then he put this whole Tonight You Belong to Me inspired intro on that thing. That's him on all the acoustic. That's him harmonizing with himself on all the vocals. And it's just killer. So, and what he recorded and sent me is what's on the record. That didn't get EQ'd or adjusted or anything. Just tacked it, started that, and as that was finishing, the electric part of the tune kicks in, you know. And then Joe did the first half of the solo on that too. You know how Paul and Ace Paul would start a solo on I Want You or I Stole Your Love, and then Ace would pick it up and finish the second half of the lead, you know. We did that on Show Me Your Love as well, because that's something that we've never done on the prior records either. So that's Joe on the left speaker doing a Paul type of lead, and that's me and the right speaker doing an Ace lead, which kind of starts out like a Jimmy Page type of thing. But I just left it in there because I was like, he loved Jimmy Page, and everybody says he sounds like Page. So that was kind of that lead was off the cuff type of thing, and I thought it was cool. And it's Jimmy Page for a few seconds. It's Ace Jimmy Page, and then it goes into Ace. And I was like, fuck it, I'm leaving it. But that's how that song came together. And Charlie's drums on it are insane. It just, the whole thing is just vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It gives you good feelings when you listen to it. I put on an album a lot of times. They're like, yeah, this rocks, and yeah, this is good. But man, Class 78, the original stuff and the new one, it's music that makes you feel good.
Yeah, man, and we appreciate you saying that, and because we're literally writing songs. We're not just writing vehicles to sound like Kiss. There got to be songs in there, and we're happy with these hooks. We're happy with these lyrics. We're happy with these, whether it's a musical hook or a vocal hook. We're gonna get you. If you listen. If you just want to throw it away and say, "Oh, it sounds like demos," that's not for you. There's no right or wrong. It's just what your ears are telling you is not what that's not how we're hearing it, which is why we released it, because we don't think it's garbage. So it's important that there are songs in there, and every single one of those songs have hooks, and everybody's got different favorites. We hear about it every day, and we love it.
I love this question. I know you won't do this because it's a rights issue, but it's a great question. Can you please redo Hotter Than Hell track by track so we can have good production on that album?
I would love to do that. I would love to do that. That record, man, the songs on that and the performances on that record are so good that the production doesn't bother me that much,
Right.
But if you would have thought, oh, that record would have been so great if the product or this, if you needed the production to make the songs and the performances better, then you'd really have a problem. But I would love that. I wish they had the master reels to that, to the multi-tracks to do that.
Yeah.
But I guess they're torn and frayed in a warehouse somewhere,
Well, I think I heard they got lost. I think
Maybe.
that's what I heard. Yeah, I heard that they got dumped sometime. But and then I'm a guitar. I'll ask this one for Cecil. Did dig your tobacco burst Les Paul? Where's the cream DiMarzios?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, no. These are just the PAF. So there's no creams on that. And it's a lefty too. So that's another. I'm a lefty, but that's on most of the record. I used a Firebird for a lot of the rhythms on the left-hand side of the speaker, and then I used the Les Paul Jr. for some rhythm, and I used the Les Paul and the Junior for most of the solos.
Right. And and I've got this scrolling on the bottom of the screen. It's newberrycomics.com is where you can buy the CD, right?
Yeah, when we released this on January 6th, we released it as a digital download on Amazon, worldwide, and then in the iTunes store, not Apple Music, but in the iTunes store, which you can access within Apple Music, because it's a purchase, it's not a streaming situation. And then, but when we announced the record, the downloads, which you could go buy immediately at that time, we also said that there'd be a CD out in about a month, which would have been February. So we released that, I think, on February 15th. And Newberry Comics is a regional chain up here in the Northeast. They've been around since the late 70s, and they can ship all over the world,
Okay.
And it's not very expensive, so they're very reasonable. So that was a good outlet, or not outlet, I guess it is an outlet, for us to keep the CD sales centralized and maximize people's ability to get it, whether they're in whether they're in Australia or in Ireland or whatever,
Yeah.
So you can get the album digital download on Amazon and on iTunes store, and you can get the CD at newberrycomics.com.
And vinyl down the road, you think?
Yeah, we talked about that right from the get-go. Charlie's really hot on doing that, because he says when he goes back on the road, he wants to sign records. He wants to sign.
I want vinyl.
Phantom's records, and his Anthrax meet and greets. But that's the plan. It's just that there's such a backup in the industry, so it's important that we get off on the right foot. We wouldn't do any pre-order thing. If we do vinyl and they go on sale, they're going to be available the minute we tell you such a thing exists. So you can hear about it and act on it.
Cool.
And it will have at least one bonus track on it that nobody's heard. You know?
Nice.
So possibly two, but at least one. And then that's the plan. So at this point, Christmas would be the soonest, really, realistically, but it changes every day. I don't know if you guys saw that thing with Jack White. He did like a little Jack White from the White Stripes.
Mhm.
He owns his own pressing plant called
Third
Man.
Man.
Pressing,
Yeah, he's
right?
he's here in Nashville.
Yeah, there you go. You guys know. And then
Oh.
he did like this little video promo for like 30 seconds the other day. He says artists, it was him in the pressing plant, and he's making a plea to like Warner's and Universal and saying, you guys need to build your pressing plants again. Artists are waiting 10 to 14 months for vinyl. People want this stuff. You need to go in and set up your plants and get this equipment and fire it up in order to help the music industry and these artists, blah, 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 you know? So he's getting a lion's share of work. They get more
Right.
projects than they can handle, you know? But he's just thinking about the artists. If there were other avenues for these guys to get their stuff pressed like the labels used to, they could get a record out in 3 or 4 months. Now you're looking at 8 months, 10 months, and it was 6 to 9, and now it's, it's crazy. So long story short, we're going to do that. But if Adele puts in a large order, our album goes on the bottom of the production list,
Right.
the end of small independent stuff, So, we're just kind of keeping an eye on that and moving forward accordingly. But if you hear about it, you're going to hear about it the day it's available. We're not going to tell you in advance. We're always going to do that. What we like to do is because there's only so much you can do in this market. We're our own label, we're our own entity, So announcing the stuff by surprise for those who are interested, not only do you get excited about hearing that it's available, but you can actually go get it right there and then, as opposed to releasing 3 songs over the course of 6 months before the record even comes out, And then, you release the single in January, the album comes out in September, and then September comes. It's like, well, I didn't really like those first 2 singles, so I'm not buying that record. Or, that record came out? I thought that came out already. It's kind of like a confusing thing. So if you find out about a record, you go, oh shit, there's a new whatever record out, and you can buy it that day, and you're like, fuck, I got to pick this up. And then you're listening to it. You're wrapping that whole excitement and the value of music that you get excited about, into one moment, as opposed to breaking it up into these segments that everybody's got short attention spans. And, I don't understand that. I don't understand that method of releasing 6 singles on your 10-song album 6 months in advance. I just don't understand, but I don't have to, because we're just doing it ourselves. We're the anti whatever's going on today,
Right, and that gives you back those feelings of what it was like to go to the mall on release day when you find out that your favorite band's got a new album coming out, and you're there, and you run in, you go to the K section or whichever, and boom, there it is. It's in your hand. It's new. You enjoy it like it's something special.
Right. Or how many times have you been to a record store or CD store or whatever, and you're looking for the thing you're looking for, and then you see that there's a poster on the wall for a new record. You didn't even know it was out. And you're going, holy shit, the new whatever record's out. And then you end up leaving with that, It catches you by surprise. You get excited about it, Those are little things that we get to do because we're controlling the thing. We're not on some, manufacturer schedule or some management entity or publicist schedule. Well, we're going to phase this out in 6 phases. People don't have time for 6 phases. Get the fucking record in their hands. Let them hear about it and buy it. You maximize your opportunity, Anyways.
Right. All right. So
we're here. A lot of comments. Everybody wants that vinyl.
Yeah, a lot of people want the vinyl, me included.
It's more cool. Vinyl. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, do we want to do rock and roll show and tell?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Why don't you guys go first?
All right.
I'll go first. I ain't got nothing too fancy. Same as always. Just a couple of CDs that I picked up this week. This one here.
Ooh, big fan.
Oh.
Yeah. Love me some Free. This is something my dad used to jam a lot to when I was a kid. And then when I got older, I just, all I knew was the one song. But then I think what really broke it out open for me was when Ace and Paul got together and did the cover of Fire and Water. And after that, I was like, man, this is such a great song. Maybe I should be listening to more of this. And
Yeah.
then that opened the door to Bad Company and everything else. And I just became a huge Paul Rogers fan. So there was a handful of CDs I was still missing for my free collection. And I was at the CD store that last time. I actually found 3 of them. That puts me, I think, 1 away from completing my free studio album collection. And this one in particular is just killer, man. Free at last. If you love rock and roll, that classic 70s sound, you can't go wrong with that.
Very
Speaking
cool.
of old school albums right here, look at that.
Oh,
You don't see that one every day.
that's nice.
I had to look twice. Is like, is that what I think it is? Because it
Mhm.
don't look like a UFO album. It's kind of strange looking, and it's kind of strange sounding too. It's their second album, UFO 2. It's called Flying, the 1 hour space rock. Yeah. It's
Wow.
got 5 tracks on it. They're like 6 to 26, 18 minutes long. It's one big album. It's kind of weird. It's not what you expect out of UFO, but at the same time, it's unmistakably UFO, if you know what I mean. It's
Cool.
different. It's weird, but it's still pretty cool.
That's Schenker era too, though, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the second album. He was just a kid.
Yeah, he was like a teenager at the time.
This music's tripping me out, sir. I don't know what's happening. Keep playing. You're doing
Mhm.
great. And then this one, I got on pretty good recommendation. Yeah. We talked about this last week on the Radio Sucks radio show, $1 Million Reload. And I'll be damned if I wasn't perusing through the CDs and I was like, hey, wait a minute. I know that one. It's $1 Million Reload. A week before, I'd have probably passed it up, not knowing what it was. But after Chris talked about it and played the song, I was like, oh, the whole thing's got to be good. So I picked that up too. I'm looking forward to digging in it. And then my very last one, you talk about going to the store or whatever, and you're going to get one thing, but then you see something else, go, oh shit, I forgot about that. And I meant to order this, but I didn't, but I saw it on the shelf and I was like, heck yeah, I got the deluxe edition.
Nice.
Brand new Scorpions album. And let me tell you, it's killer. If you like
Yeah.
old school Scorpions, you're going to love it. The deluxe edition's got a bunch of extra tracks on it. Looks like 5 extra tracks on it. And so far, it's really good. Like the last Scorpions album I like too, but I think this one blows that one away even. Good stuff. New Scorpions. Go get it.
Well, this one doesn't have 5 ballads on it like the last one did, so that's an improvement alone.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That last one, all the bonus tracks were the best songs.
Oh, so many ballads on it. I was like, and I like ballads, but I'm like, you don't need that many on one album, guys.
This one really jams. I think they got the message and toned it
Yeah,
down.
I've listened to the hell out of that record. I think it's
Toned
great.
it down and rocked it out. That's what I
Yeah.
like.
All right, so I just have one thing, and I just, since Tom was on, we're doing Kiss centric stuff. I was like, I'll pull something out of my Kiss collection, and a lot of you guys probably have this, but I thought I'd bring it up. The People magazine where they debuted Eric Carr
Ooh, wow.
from 1980.
That's cool.
It's actually in really good shape, and I used the Classic 78 thing as a bookmark. So it's got this cool picture of Gene from back in the day, and they talk about the 9-digit empire. But yeah, it's actually a really cool article. If you and a lot of you are familiar with this cover, but the article itself is actually very well written. It's interesting an interesting glimpse into what was going on with the band at the night, because things kind of fell off the cliff right after this cover was released. You know, The Elder came out not long after this happened. So, but yeah, it's August 18th, 1980. Cost 75 cents new.
Wow.
And I've had it in like in a plastic container like since I bought it, but like it's in mint condition.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
looks mint. Yeah.
It's even got a cigarette ad on the back. You don't see those anymore. Salem cigarettes. But and then of course I've got my Classic 78 CD
Oh, of
that
course.
Tom was
Yes.
kind enough to send us.
Dude,
But
cool.
but yeah, so I like this, but I want vinyl, which
I
I'm looking
gotcha.
forward to.
I got you.
All right. So Tom, what have you got?
All right, so I was thinking the same thing. What have I got recently, Kiss related? I got that Alan Balisha Kiss on Tour book.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. There you go. That's a little bit more like it.
Alan Balikia.
Balikia, yeah, thank you. And he seems like such a nice guy too. This guy, he's getting the rights with the for these photos with the folks out in Japan, and just talk about a quality. I've got a few of his books. I don't know if you guys have gotten any of these, but
I haven't gotten them, but I've heard amazing things about his
oh my God,
books.
yeah, I've got two of them, and it's just incredible. The guy's really talented. It's almost like he knows what we want to see. If you're a 70s Kiss guy, you know,
Yeah.
and so when I missed out on a few of his books. He's done quite a few about the Japan eras, 77 and then 78. I missed out on a couple of those, but this one I grabbed right away as soon as I saw it. Then he's got a new one coming out about the press kits from the 70s, and he keeps saying he's never going to do any other book, and then 6 months later he's got this beautiful book out, So
sounds like me with the expo.
yeah. Once you get rolling, now you got to finish it, right?
Yeah. Every year I say I'm never doing this again, and then hey, 2 months later, hey, we're doing it again.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I got, and I haven't even dug into this yet because I want to really sit with it is the box set.
Oh, you shelled out for that. Wow.
Yeah,
I couldn't spend the money on that. It was just too much for me.
All the goodies inside, like I didn't have any of the 70s tour books and stuff, so they got the resized replica of the Destroyer book, and I was just like, it looks like they did it right, to me, and because some of the other things didn't come across as well as we all would have hoped, So I bit the bullet. I'm very pleased with it, but I haven't listened to any. I cracked it open and kind of started to flip through some of the memorabilia, and then I stopped myself because I want to sit with it, listen to the CDs, listen to some of the bonus discs, and just kind of make a thing of it. So I've got that and a whole stack of vinyl that I'm just sitting on because I just want to have a weekend where I'm just cranking vinyl and hanging out, But anyways, that's what I got, guys.
Right on. Well, now that you guys mentioned it, I actually do have one more Kiss thing here I almost forgot about. Let me slide this over one time. So this is a show and tell, and it's also a warning to Tom.
Uh-oh.
I got to give you a warning right now. You made us wait 4 years for the new Klassik 78, but I got to tell you, I got this.
I used to have that.
Oh, the best of book. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
If you make me wait 4 more years, I'm just going to do my own. With this book, and I'm going to learn how to do it my dang self.
That's cool.
Because I just can't wait that long anymore.
Yeah. Is that in cellophane? Is that still shrink wrapped, or did you crack it open?
No, this one's, I found it at a store. It was already open. It's
yeah.
Still got the CD in it.
Yeah, I used to actually own that.
Watch yourself.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you, Klassik 78.
Yeah, I am kind of bummed that we're not going to get the Klassik 78 rock opera, to redo The Elder. Come on, man. Get those flugelhorns out, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Get yourself copious amounts of weed and write an album.
Right, or I think it might have been Coke. I don't know what the hell they were doing, or Bob.
We know Ace and Bob were doing the Coke.
Yeah.
Like everybody else must have been on mushrooms the way that one turned out.
I don't know. Psychedelics. Oh man, so that's show and tell. So Aaron, it's 8:00. We ready to get into Bracket Brawl?
Did you put a bracket together?
Oh, I thought you did.
No.
I did. I have no idea what we're doing.
You had the idea, but I didn't have the list of songs, and like I said, I just got here.
Oh, we have a question for Aaron. Rummy guys, I was listening to Cheap Trick inspired by you guys. The track "Gonna Raise Hell" sounds like a Gene Simmons Kiss track. Do you think Kiss influenced this recording?
I could see that.
I've heard a couple of people mention that before.
You familiar with that song, Tom?
Oh hell yeah, that's
it does kind of seem like it would be a good Gene Simmons song.
I could see that. Yeah, I think does Tom Peterson sing that one, or is that Robin Zander?
No, that's Robin.
That's Robin. Yeah.
He's kind of grittier sounding.
Yeah.
Oh man, well I put together. I mean, I've got the list of songs that I don't have a bracket to put them in, Aaron, but I can send you the list real fast if you want, or unless you want to just wait till next time.
I still got all the stuff from the last time on it.
Oh man, that's how woefully unprepared we are tonight.
Well, I got a piece of paper. You tell us the first round, and I'll just write them out as we go.
I just sent you a Facebook message with all the songs.
Okay.
We'll do the Paul Stanley one. So all right, so this is Bracket Brawl, and let me do the intro with the special effects and everything, of course, because we have like high production quality here. Here we go. Sounded like a real explosion, didn't it?
Oh boy.
High tech. That's that 70s throwback technology there.
Or I can list the songs and you can fill them in as we go. If you want.
That's what I'm saying. We'll do it.
Okay. All right. So what we're doing is I went through, and like a bracket has to have 16 choices. So and then we do either or based on stuff. So but I did discover that from the debut Kiss album through Love Gun, Paul Stanley had exactly 16 songs that he penned by himself. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a bracket brawl with Paul Stanley solely written songs from that era. And Aaron's going to keep track as I read off these songs. So here we go. And here's what I'll do. I'll do the first and last on each one as we go. And because it's different eras. I don't want to like front load, the early days. So here's where.
And we're judging these by just which one we like better, what we think is a better rated Paul Stanley song.
Yeah, just whichever one you like better. Okay. So the first matchup is going to be Firehouse versus Love Gun.
Oh shit, that's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
Firehouse versus Love Gun, man, that's a tough one right there. I love both of those songs. I mean, Love Gun's iconic. I mean, just because it's a great written song. It's about a penis. I mean, that should get some extra points, I think. I think that's what's going to get my vote right there. Firehouse, another iconic song. You think about the sirens on the live album and all that,
Yeah.
Two of Paul Stanley's most popular and most beloved songs facing each other in the very first round, in the very first matchup. But yeah, I'm going to give it to the song about the penis, though. I'm going to give it to Love Gun.
You go Love Gun. Tom, what are you going with?
I am going to go with Love Gun too, and I've been digging the studio version of that on the Love Gun album lately. I'm Firehouse is one of my favorite all-time songs, but I've been digging on that tune, so I'm going to go with that.
Aside from the solo, I don't really care much for Firehouse. I think it's one of Paul's best songs, so it's a clean sweep there. Let's look at what the viewers think. So we got Love Gun, Firehouse. Cecil saying that is tough.
That is tough.
Love Gun. Facebook user says figures. I don't know what that means. Love Gun, same reason Aaron stated. That's Mighty K. What's up, Bushy? Fugger say love fun. All right. Firehouse. I love making fun of you guys with your spelling mistakes. Firehouse. It doesn't matter. It's a clean sweep anyway. Firehouse. Love Gun. Somebody sent a dick pic to Mighty K. Firehouse.
That's not a dick pic, honey. That's my love gun.
That's my artichoke. All right, so that's the first round. Love Gun beats Firehouse. Second round, we have Let Me Know versus Tomorrow and Tonight.
Wow.
I'll go first on this one. I think Tomorrow and Tonight is kind of a pale imitation of Rock and Roll All Night. Let Me Know is the first song that Paul played for Gene when they met, and it's pretty important in history, so I'll go with Let Me Know.
Those are both two of the poppier songs of that era that Paul Stanley wrote. Let Me Know's kind of got that fun kind of Beatles-ish kind of quality to it. Tomorrow and Tonight just seems kind of like a run-of-the-mill, not one of Paul Stanley's best, I don't think.
It's kind of a wannabe anthem.
Yeah, kind of. Boy, you go from the first one with two iconic songs to these ones are a little bit deeper cuts.
You never know what you're gonna get.
I guess I'm gonna go with Let Me Know.
All right, 2 out of 3. But Tom,
It's a sweep. I'm going with Let Me Know.
Let
The
Me
dual
Know. All right,
vocal, the whole.
so we got tomorrow and tonight. Tomorrow and tonight. Let Me Know.
And Let Me Know has got some pretty clever ass
No.
lyrics in it too, where Tomorrow and Tonight just seems like that could be a 70s song by any 70s band. Like anybody could do that song. Where Tomorrow and Tonight's a little, they say a little catchier, kind of like a finger snapping song, toe tapping thing a little bit. And then, Sunday Driver, and it's the double innuendos and stuff in that song. I think Let Me Know is like way more of a clever song than Tomorrow
Right.
Tonight, for sure. It looks like most of the listeners are agreeing with that.
Yeah, Let Me Know is kind of running away with this one. All right, so
Let Me
next
Know.
matchup. Oh, the next matchup is a backbreaker. Oh shit! Black Diamond versus I Stole Your Love.
Oh,
I hate this.
Yeah, I hate it too. I quit. I'm out of here.
This was a bad idea already. Well, to me, nothing is going to beat Black Diamond because I think it's the quintessential Kiss song for the original era, especially the Alive version. I'm going with Black Diamond.
Oh man, but I Stole Your Love is one
Oh, I love I Stole Your Love.
the way they use it on to like, I don't know, it's just such a heavy kicking tune. I mean, you just can't mess with Black Diamond, can you? I mean,
I
Black
don't
Diamond
think so.
might be one of the greatest songs ever written, period.
It's pretty great.
Black Diamond, I don't see
It's
how
my,
you can.
it's my favorite all-time Kiss song.
yeah, Black Diamond's it. That's the one.
I like that.
All right.
Ron Parker says, I always thought Peter could have sung Tomorrow and Tonight.
That's an interesting
Yeah.
thought. Where are you seeing that? Why are you seeing different comments than I am?
I don't know. I'm just reading them off the side.
That's weird. So Black Diamond. Cecil says, "Oh shit, tough." Black Diamond. Nate agrees with me. All-time favorite
Cougars
Kiss
are going
song.
with I Stole Your Love.
Wow. Well, they're about the only ones. Everybody else is going with Black Diamond.
Yeah.
Well, Mighty K's going with I Stole Your Love.
Yeah. There's a few in there. Yeah, I got to agree with Cecil. Black Diamond, but I Stole Your Love is awesome.
All right. So Black Diamond wins.
Diamond advances.
All right. Next matchup. Got to Choose versus Hard Luck Woman.
Got to Choose right off the bat. I'm telling you guys right off the bat. Got to Choose. My favorite Paul song.
All right. I'm gonna go. Got to Choose. I love that song.
That one's pretty easy. As hard as some of those other ones were, this one's simple for me. And I don't think it would have mattered if Paul would have sang Hard Luck Woman instead of giving it to Peter. Got to Choose just freaking rocks. That one's going to be hard to beat.
I do love Hard Luck Woman. I think it's a great song, but
too.
Got to Choose is, and I've mentioned it on previous shows. I think if like the Stones or Free or Bad Company had done Got to Choose, I think it would have been a huge hit.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what these people are saying. Looks like, man, you guys are voting fast. Got to Choose. Got to Choose. There's one for Hard Luck Woman. Got to Choose. Got to Choose, but I like Hard Luck Woman. Got to choose Hard Luck Woman. Got to Choose. Doogers. I don't know what that means. That's the Fuggers, I'm guessing. Hard Luck Woman. But Hard Luck Woman's my favorite Kiss ballad. That's fair. Got to Choose. Fuggers picked Hard Luck Woman. Man, the Fuggers are like kind of going counter to a lot of what we want. All right, so and then Sinkin' Stanley, of course, just got to. Are you familiar with Sinkin' Stanley, Tom?
No. Oh no! Wait. Yeah. He does the. Does he have a fake account or something like that?
Yes, his entire life is based on harassing Paul Stanley.
Yes. I'm aware of that now. Yeah.
Well, he's a friend of ours.
It's a hard thing to deny when you got a talent so strong,
Yeah. Mighty K picked Hard Luck Woman, but yeah, pretty much Got to Choose ran away with this one. All right. So next matchup is Hotter Than Hell versus I Want You.
Wow.
That's a tough one.
Wow. I love both of those songs.
Damn. I don't know what I'm going to pick here. I need to actually think about this one.
What are the people saying? They might be able to sway me or help me choose anyway.
So
Hotter Than Hell versus I Want You. 2 iconic Kiss songs, 2 iconic Paul Stanley, and 2 of the best Kiss songs, really.
so far, it looks mostly I Want You. A couple people saying Hotter Than Hell.
I'm gonna go with "I Want You." Not only just the song is just killer, but that video from the Don Kirshner's thing. That just every time I hear that, that just pops into my. I just love that. So I'm going with "I Want You" myself.
I'm gonna go with I Want You because it's one of the most dynamic songs they wrote back in the 70s. It's got the acoustic intro. It's also got the double solo between Paul and Ace, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And also the version that the Revenge lineup used to play was really good, where they kind of extended the jam part in the middle of it. I'm gonna go with I'll go with I Want You.
Yeah, you guys make pretty good points. As much as I love Hotter Than Hell, I really love I Want You. And like you say, it's one of them songs, kind of like we talked about with Show Your Love on the Klassik 78. It's got that where it's got that sweet spot and the sweet part in the beginning. And it just kind of, oh, this is nice. Like if you didn't know it was Kiss, you're like, oh, what a nice song. This is beautiful. And then boom, boot upside the head, rock and roll. And I always love that when Kiss does it because few do it better. I'm going to also go with I Want You.
All right. Sweep on that. We're mostly in agreement on all of these so far. All right. So most people said I Want You. A couple people were saying that they would pick Hotter Than Hell. Oh, and then Facebook user says great work on Phantoms, Tom, if you haven't picked it up too. So that's nice.
Thank you very much.
Helping us promote. I like it.
Mike Katie changes to Hotter Than Hell. All right. All right. Next matchup, we have Mainline versus God of Thunder. It's kind of interesting because Paul doesn't sing God of Thunder.
I was going to say, are we talking about the Chugga Chugga?
He doesn't sing. Yeah, these are 2 songs that he doesn't sing that he wrote by himself.
Yeah.
Mainline versus God. You have to go with God of Thunder. That song's just iconic in that band.
Mainline's pretty cool though, but
it's fun, but it's not.
God of Thunder.
It's not as special as God of Thunder is.
Yeah, the Mainline is a cool rock and roll song, but God of Thunder's that's the one. Which version do you like better, the studio version or the live 2? And same for you, Aaron.
I like the studio. I like the slow plotting studio version. I think it's what Ezrin did. I think was perfect. I think I wouldn't change a thing about it.
And it's the walkie-talkie kid effects used to creep out when I was a little kid listening to it. But I like the live version too, where it's
I like it.
Tempo, a little more punch to it,
Yeah.
Cool.
But I love them both.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like God of Thunder almost all day long here as the people's
Adam picked Mainline.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah.
Mainline's fun, but it's more of just a basic rock and roll song.
Yeah.
There's not that much special about it.
It's got a great solo. Ace does a good solo on that one.
That's another one that kind of shows the influence the Beatles had on that band. The kind of poppy, bouncy rock songs.
Yeah, I like the studio version better. All right, so God of Thunder kind of runs away with that one. All right,
Who's next?
Next matchup is Room Service versus Lover All I Can.
Ooh.
Wow.
These are 2 pretty evenly matched songs.
Wow.
I'll go ahead and go first. I'm going to pick Lover All I Can because it's got a double Ace solo. It's got 2 different guitar solos in it, and I think that kind of gives it the edge, but they're pretty similar in what I think about them. But I'll give it to Lover All I Can.
That one is pretty tough because I like both these songs.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Love Her All I Can. Room Service is one of my favorites, man. But the harmony vocals, drum break, the two guitar solos, they're just locked in on that. It kind of shows off everybody. But so I'm gonna go with Love Her All I Can, Aaron.
Oh, look, Julian Gill's checking in. Good to see you, Julian. Pure pop
see you,
perfection, a happy song I like. That's cool.
Yeah, I agree. You got to give it to Love Her All I Can. You guys, you ever heard the Anthrax cover of that?
I love that version.
I really love what they did with it. Yeah, great song all around. Room Service is great, fun, catchy, bouncy song, but I think is just a little bit better than Room Service.
Yeah, both songs off Dress to Kill, right?
Yeah, that's a tough one. That was a tough one.
Tough.
All right, so then we have the last matchup for the first round. Come On and Love Me versus Anything for My Baby.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Come On and Love Me all day long. I don't even
Yeah,
waste
it's
about
got to be Come On and Love Me. I think it's a way better song.
Absolutely. Come On and Love Me is the one. Yeah. I wish they would play that. I don't know why. I don't understand why that's on the set list. But that's a whole other show.
When I saw them on the reunion tour in '97 in Nashville, they actually broke it out, and I was so happy because I love that song.
I think they played it with when Eric joined the band with Makeup when they were in Australia. I think they played like 30 songs, but I think
what song does the Ace Frehley band want to do next?
Yeah, it was after that. It was when he joined again.
I'm just thinking of the whole jam thing they did with Ace.
Yeah. Come On and Love Me, definitely. Yeah.
Most people are picking Come On and Love Me. Come On and Love Me. Yeah. So we're kind of on a clean sweep on that too. So it's going to get harder now. All right. You've got the bracket set up. All right. Well, I'm going to let you take over from here because that's all the initial matchups.
Okay. So then in the next round, we got the ones that have moved on from the first, so it's not going to get any easier. So the next matchup then is Love Gun and Let Me Know.
Oof. Wow.
Two great songs. To me, I think kind of hard to mess with Love Gun. Let Me Know is good, but Love Gun's iconic. I'm going Love Gun.
Yeah, I'll go Love Gun. And I'm kind of overhearing Love Gun live, but it's an amazing song.
Yeah, because when you break it down, it doesn't matter how many times in a setting like this when you're going, okay, now take out of the equation how many times you've heard it and how many other songs you wish would be in the playlist besides Love Gun again.
Right.
When you really break down and look at it for what it is, there's no denying it is an awesome song, and that's why it's always in the playlist.
I don't know who did this, but it's my favorite because it just says Facebook user, but that's my favorite comment on their vote.
Love Gun wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Love Gun's running away with it. Love Gun eggplant.
Somebody was looking for the instead of
thinking
looking
Stanley's like getting dementia because he voted for Come On and Love Me.
He's late, a little behind on that one, but that have no fear. That song
must
did
be all right. Okay, so yeah, Love Gun wins easily.
Yeah, Julian Gill does make a good point, though.
Yeah, it's a good point. Too
much kissery in that one. Too much borrowing in Love Gun.
That's yeah, I guess that's true.
That's a good
point. I love the bass line for Love Gun never gets enough credit. I love the kind of shuffle bass line on it.
Yeah.
And Paul plays the whole thing.
All right, so Love Gun advances to the semifinals. Next matchup then is Black Diamond versus Got to Choose.
Black Diamond. Nothing's going to beat Black Diamond as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
I love Got to Choose was up there in my top 5 though. That is a tough matchup.
Yeah, I gotta go Black Diamond too.
Yeah, I think most everyone will agree with that. Even though Got to Choose is a killer song, I gotta agree with Chris. I don't see anything beating Black Diamond on here. But that's why we run the bracket to find
Black
out.
Diamond's running away with this. No one's voting for the other one. All right. Well, all right. Yeah, it's all Black
Won't it be
Diamond.
beautiful if the eggplant wins the bracket? That was the comment.
The winner tonight is Penis.
Yes. You know it'll always win.
No, that's called gin.
Oh yeah. All right, so without much question, Black Diamond advances over Got to Choose.
Yep.
So that brings us up to our next matchup, which is I Want You versus God of Thunder. And I think for this being the Paul Stanley one, we should have counted the Paul Stanley version of God of Thunder.
The disco demo.
I'm going with I Want You on this one.
You got something about Joe. No, I'm going with I Want You for this one.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I want. Kind of split on the votes.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Got a shout out there for the Alive 2 version of I Want You.
I do like that. I love that version.
Yeah.
Are we all going with I Want You over God of Thunder on this one?
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay.
I Want You is just
Think
one of
of-
those iconic Paul Stanley. Like I said, nobody really does it better than that guy when it comes to come closer, come closer, come closer.
Julia says,
Bam, you know?
Julia says God of Thunder and them
The virgin goats. Yeah.
Facebook user says I want you eggplant. Okay.
Did you guys see Hot in the Shade tour?
Yes, that was my first Kiss concert.
When they I Want You, there was an awesome moment in that show when because they didn't have the Kiss sign for the whole show. Then I Want You starts. Rises up. Yeah, the weird sign. Yeah, the weird.
The
sign,
ugly
right?
K, that was blessing and a
Yeah.
curse. The sign comes up and everybody's like, hell yeah. And then they see the
Yeah,
logo
yeah.
and they're like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good.
And then, like-
that was a good moment.
Well, and we interviewed Bruce Kulick for episode 50, went to his hotel room, and I brought it up thinking Bruce would be like, oh, that logo was awful and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't really remember.
They don't even know. Yeah, they have no idea.
He's like, he had no thoughts on it at all. I was like, come on, Bruce.
I've never looked backwards. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. So it looks like, according to the three of us and pretty much everybody else on the side making comments, I Want You easily advances over God of Thunder. They're iconic Paul Stanley songs. So the last matchup in this round then
Excuse me.
brings us up to Love Her All I Can versus Come On and Love Me. I think this one's a little easy too. It is for me. Come On and Love Me all day long.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Yeah, come on and love me. You know, Paul actually hates the song Love Her All I Can.
Does he really?
Yeah, they broke it out for the Rock the Nation tour of 2004, and only because the rest of the band pushed him to play it. He hates that song. Never liked
Wow.
it.
I wonder why.
I don't know. He doesn't like it.
You talking about Come On and Love Me or
No, Love Her
Love Her
All
All I Can.
Oh, Love Her All I Can? Okay.
It's funny too because even though they're all singing that, Gene and Paul or whatever, I still think of it as a Paul song. You know?
I still think of it as a Wicked Lester song.
Yeah.
I remember. Julian picked
Poor
Love Her All I
Julian.
Can. I do like the song.
It's awesome. Yeah.
I even like the Wicked Lester version of it.
It is kind of silly though, the Wicked Lester version.
Flutes and all.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Brooke.
Flutes and dudes. Doot. All right. Looks like it's settled there. Come on and love me advances.
Okay.
Here we are in the semifinals, down to the final four right now. This is where it gets real. Love Gun versus Black Diamond.
Jesus, fuck. All right.
Again, I don't see nothing beating Black Diamond.
Black Diamond, I've already predetermined that's my favorite song. So I have to go with Black Diamond. I love Love Gun, but I will go with Black Diamond.
It's a tough one. Yeah. I mean, there's too much
we go
going
already.
on. Yeah. There's too much.
Eggplant for the win.
It's definitely Black Diamond for me.
Aaron, did you vote?
Yeah, Black Diamond all the way.
You didn't vote for the Eggplant. All right.
No, as much as I wanted to.
Black Diamond. Mighty K voted for the Eggplant. I'm going to withhold comment.
Of course she did.
She's the only one. I love Adam and C's comment.
Black Eggplant. I mean Diamond.
Foogers voted for Love Gun. Rami voted for Love Gun.
The Foogers
Eggplant
are extra anti-establishment tonight.
Yeah, I know. What's y'all's deal?
They're fighting it.
All right. So Black Diamond moves on.
All right. And the song that will face Black Diamond in the finals. This one might be the toughest matchup of the entire tournament so far. I Want You versus Come On and Love Me.
Ooh. Now I got to think about this.
Yeah, me too.
I Want You versus Come On and Love Me.
I'm going to go with I Want You because the dynamics in Black Diamond are insane, and the dynamics in I Want You are insane. That's going to be a battle. If I Want You makes it to the final, that's going to be a fight to the finish.
Make a sound argument.
It makes sense to me too.
Yeah.
Come On, Love Me, such a rocking tune though.
I know
it is.
There's everything about it I love.
But damn it, is this going to come down to I Want You versus Black Diamond?
That's what I'm trying to make happen here.
Yeah, I believe it is because I'm going to also, as much as it pains me, I'm also going with I Want You.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I hate to do it though. Mighty K pick Come On and Love Me. Damn, y'all are fast. I want you. Singing Stanley.
It's that.
Come On of Love Me. Julian picked I Want You. Or I Want You. Mighty K. Come On and Love Me. Is it Hal Face or Half Ace? Because you have Half Ace makeup. I want. Can't Have a Hooker Against a Lover. The Foogers pick Come On. Rummy picked I Want. I think I Want You is going to win.
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right.
All right. So here we are, the finals of the Paul Stanley solo written songs with no help from nobody else. He wrote these songs himself. First half of the KISS career. And the two best, and it's hard to argue either one of these, it comes down to Black Diamond versus I Want You. What is the number one Paul Stanley song of the 70s?
And you know what sucks is like I went into this thinking Black Diamond's going to easily win, in my opinion. But I Want You is a damn good adversary.
Well, it came down to these two for a reason, for sure.
Because both songs kind of boast the same qualities of each one.
I mean, but you just can't fuck with Black Diamond. You just can't, and that's what I got to go with. I got to stay with Black Diamond.
Well, or as the kids say today, if you're picking it, you do fuck with Black Diamond. Yeah, because now it's a good thing to say I fuck with that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for keeping us up to date on you young kids lingo there, Chris.
I still have a teenager in the house, so cut me some slack. I fuck with that. I'm thinking, is that good or bad?
You better not. No, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Sure. Okay.
Well, we're the dumbasses in our generation that said if something was bad, it's good. So
that's right.
what the fuck do we know?
No, it was Michael Jackson. It wasn't our fault.
Yeah. All right. I have to go with Black Diamond, but I love I Want You. That's the only song that would really challenge Black Diamond, in my opinion.
I'm gonna go with I Want You just because he sings it. He sings the whole tune. That's like a Sophie's Choice deal.
So you're going with I Want You. All right, Aaron, what are you going with? Black Diamond?
Black Diamond.
All right. So let's go to the listeners.
Parker's got another cool little comment over here. Imagine what Gene Simmons would have done with Black Diamond had he sung it. Very interesting idea. I don't know if it would have been as good, but it would have been interesting for sure.
It's mostly Black Diamond. Of course, Mighty K picks I Want You. Julian picked Black Diamond. Miss Fugger says I Want You. Yeah, Gene with Black Diamond.
It's hard to imagine. It really is. It's hard to picture it.
So so the Fugger house is split between Janet and Shane. Wow. Black Diamond, but I could flip a coin between. That's the thing. You could flip a coin between these two.
Because they're both so damn good.
I'll defer to Kiss royalty, Julian Gill, and choose Black Diamond.
Can't go wrong there.
Well, so Black Diamond's going to win, right?
So that is the final of the Paul Stanley tournament. And the winner is Black Diamond.
Cool.
Yay.
But a new hero emerges in the form of Purple Eggplant.
All right. Alcohol.
Let me get them all out of my system. Hang on.
We got any people tonight that are high? All right, then listen.
I got to get all my Paul Stanley plugs out of the way.
All right. Well, we pulled that off in just the nick of time.
Yeah, we did.
That all worked out just barely.
All right.
But that was fun. That was good. A good discussion.
Yeah, it was fun.
Got to talk about some really cool songs, some really great stuff. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love that old.
Just a Boy. Who the fuck is that? So we need a new Kiss song. Well, Klassik 78 needs to do a new Kiss related song called Purple Plant. Come on.
Yeah, we're right on that. Yeah. I'll jump right on that. Yeah.
You could do a song called Purple Headband and it'll be an Elder related song.
Nice. That was fun. Thanks everybody for participating in that. I love it when we get to talk about Kiss. Everybody gets so excited, myself included.
So let's get a final plug-in. Klassik 78 Phantoms, which is now available. Go to newberrycomics.com if you want an actual CD copy of it. And right, Tom?
That's right. And so get the CD at newberrycomics.com or get the album download at Amazon worldwide or in the iTunes store. We appreciate everybody's support out there and all the kind words that you guys have said. You guys have been supporting this thing from day one, and I appreciate it, and the guys really appreciate it. And I was hoping that we'd get together at some point, so I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, there you go. Ronnie Parker says you poster out of your album cover. That's
what I was just going to say. I wouldn't mind seeing
a
poster of that available.
Yep, probably going to happen. Yep.
Nice. Well, man, you make it easy for us. We're the Decibel Geek podcast. All we ever want is great music to talk about. And when we first heard Klassik 78, it's like, this is too easy for us, because we're not trying to push something because somebody says we should or because somebody thinks something's cool. we're talking about this because we want to talk about it because we love it so much, and it's become something that's really kind of important to us. That everywhere we go, I mean, I find myself, if I meet a KISS fan, I say, "Have you heard about Klassik '78?" You know, and it's like the thing now because, like I was telling you, even my father-in-law, I mean, and he was an old school young kid in the '70s that was seeing him in when he was young. And I play him Klassik '78, and it blows his mind. And that's got to be the true testament right there.
That was that was cool. That's that was very cool when you told me that. And the thing is just to have a good time with stuff, man. Don't waste your time on things that you don't dig. Dig into. So many people don't have. There's not enough time. You got to work. You got to do this. You got to. The life's gonna throw shit at you that you have no control over. Don't waste a minute doing stuff that you don't like doing if you don't have to. So that's all about good stuff. Just having a good time, celebrating this thing that we love in a fun way. And again, I appreciate all the support you guys have given us, and everybody out there who's listening who appreciates it and has purchased the CD or the downloads in the past and whatever. We really appreciate it, and just want to say thanks to everybody.
Awesome.
My
Well,
father,
let's.
he also wants an LP along with everybody else over here.
Okay,
Awesome.
duly noted.
I'm still jealous of his father-in-law getting to see Kiss at Mother's here in Nashville in '74. That's fucking amazing. But yeah, so like stay in touch with us. Would like to bring you into Nashville maybe for Rockin' Pod next spring if you got for it, because been wanting to get Charlie as a guest too for many years. So but
Have you guys ever considered presenting these songs in a live environment?
Oh yeah. We would like to do it. If we do it, it'll come from a promoter or an agent. Who feels as though who feels as though that we'd be a good a good fit for their event or their festival or whatever it is. So it'll come from one of yeah. It'll come from one of those type of sources, But absolutely, we're open to any of those type of conversations. And people talk about the KISS Cruise all the time, but the phone hasn't rung on that, and it's got to be a good match, and we don't want to force anything. So if it makes sense and for everybody involved, we're always open to discussing that, because we would like to play this stuff live in the right situation. So
right.
Who knows what the rest of the year will bring, or 2023,
I mean, just get Charlie some white grease paint and some sunglasses. Nobody will know it's him.
Yeah, no, he's got nothing else to do. That Anthrax, he can put that on hold for a while and just take care of it.
Exactly. Priorities, man. Come on.
Yeah, do a 70s KISS version of Caught in a Mosh. I can't wait to hear that.
Right. Yeah. If we did play live, we would do Klassik '78 stuff, but we'd also do some KISS nuggets, for sure.
Awesome.
But we'll see what happens.
Very cool. So yeah, so guys, if you haven't bought the album, go out and buy it. Support these guys. They're doing something that we've kind of wanted for years. Instead of getting something like this, in '98 we got We Are One. Is that all I need to say? But yeah. So like much better 70s related KISS stuff. Check out Klassik '78. Pick it up at newburycomics.com. And Tom, thanks for coming on tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, guys. We'll definitely keep in touch. I appreciate it.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.